Hi guys, I'm here with our live lesson on inequalities and equations. You're going to have two lessons from Imagine Math that are going to be what this live lesson refers to. So I'm going to just give you a couple of quick things to help you during this lesson, and I would love for you to refer back to it after or during the process of you completing the lesson. Let's talk about some equation vocabulary. Now, this is an equation. An equation has several parts to it. An equation is considered to be two equivalent expressions. So, two different expressions on the left and the right side of the equal sign. An expression is a group of numbers and operations and possibly symbols that can create in different results. For example, 2 plus 2 is an expression. 5 times 5 is an expression. And 5 to the second power is also considered an expression. In the 6th grade, you will probably deal more with algebraic expressions, and you will see symbols, which we call variables, in that expression. So for example, we see that 3x plus 6 is considered an expression. The x is a variable, and a variable represents a number that we don't know yet. We have not figured out what x is yet, but 3 times a number plus 6, okay? On the other side of the equal sign, we just have the number 12. Well, one number can be considered an expression. So 3 times a number plus 6 is equal to 12. So the goal is to figure out what this number is. The number next to the variable is considered to be the coefficient. It's usually a numerical coefficient. So a number next to a variable means that you're multiplying that number times that variable. So 3 times a number that we don't know yet plus 6 gives you 12. The constant is 12. A constant is just like what it sounds like. It doesn't really change. It will be what it is. Okay, so it is not affected by anything based on just how it's written. It's usually going to be standing alone by itself. And of course, this entire thing is considered an equation. With that being said, you want to make sure that you understand the rules for solving equations. You can add, subtract, multiply, and divide both sides on the equal sign by the same number. You want to perform the opposite operation, also called the inverse operation, from the one shown in the problem. The opposite of adding is subtracting. The opposite of subtracting is adding. The opposite of multiplying is dividing. And the opposite of dividing is multiplying. The rules are to isolate the variable on one side of the equation. Make any operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division, the same on both sides of the equation. Ensure the coefficient of the isolated variable is positive. Okay, so you want to make sure that the coefficient is positive. Okay, so let's take a look at an example. We have 3x is equal to 18. That means 3 times a number equals 18. Now, x is a very common variable, but you are more than possible you will see other letters. So don't confuse this x with the multiplication symbol. It is just a letter representing a number that we don't know yet. So our coefficient is 3. So 3 times a number is 18. You probably already know the answer to this, but it's super important that we talk about how to write it down. So 3 times the number is equal to 18 is our problem. So we're going to isolate the variable on one side of the equation. That means we got to get rid of this 3 because we want the x all by itself. So we are going to perform the opposite on each side. The opposite of multiplying a number times 3 is going to be dividing a number by 3. You want to make sure that the operations are the same and by the same number on both sides of the equation. So we're going to divide. The fraction bar represents division. Please don't forget that. In the 6th grade, you write division using a fraction bar. So I'm going to divide 3x by 3 and 18 by 3. When I do that, I'm noticing that 3 divided by 3 literally gives me 1. So actually, this is going to cancel out. So I've officially gotten rid of that 3 that's next to the variable, and all I'm left with is an x. However, when I divide 18 by 3, I end up with 6. Remember, when you are writing your equations and solving them, it's super important to be super organized. Notice how all the equal signs are going right underneath each other, and we're bringing our answers down, not over to the side. And we have found out that x is 6. You can always check your work by just plugging in the answer you got in the variable's place. So 3 times 6 is actually 18. So I know that that's correct. So all I'm doing is substituting this 6 in the place of x to see if it works. All right, let's do another one. So this one says 24 equals 4j. Again, I told you that you will have different letters that represent the variables. Okay, so 24 equals 4j. So that means a number times 4 is 24. I'm sure you know the answer to that, but it's super important that you know how to solve it. So since I know that 4 is my coefficient and I want to isolate the variable and I'm multiplying 4 times that variable, I'm going to do the opposite and I'm going to divide each side by 4. Once I do that, I notice that 4 divided by 4 is 1, so 4j divided by 4 is just going to give me j. So these two will cancel out, and I'm left with j. On the other side, 24 divided by 4 is going to give me 6. So j is equal to 6. So let's just check it. 4 times 6 is 24. So I know for sure my answer is correct. All right. Now, you're going to have questions like this one on Imagine Math. It's super important that you understand what it's asking you to do. These three numbers are the answers to these equations. You want to be able to drag those equations into the correct spot based on the answer. So let's just do a couple of them. Let's start with this one. Half times x is equal to 6, or half of a number is 6. Half of a number is 6, so 6 is half of a number. Let's look at my answer choices. Is 6 half of 2.5? Is 6 half of 8? Is 6 half of 12? 6 is half of 12. So this one will go underneath there. Now let's talk about how to solve that. I can actually solve that problem by doing the opposite on each side. I'm going to rewrite it like this with no multiplication symbol. And so I know that this is a fraction, but how would I divide a fraction? Well, I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal on both sides. And what happens is that these cancel out, and I'm left with x. And on this side, I am left with 12. Let's see. I know that 32 divided by a number gives me 4. Is 32 divided by 2.5 4? Is 32 divided by 8 4? Is 32 divided by 12 4? Well, the answer is 8. 32 divided by 8 is 4. So you can tell that you basically just need to solve these problems, or also just plug in or substitute these numbers for the variables to see if it works. Our next thing we're going to be talking about is graphing inequalities. Inequalities are very similar to equations. However, with inequalities, you may have more than one solution. Keep in mind that you will use the inequality symbols below: less than, greater than, less than equal to, and greater than equal to. You will have to not only solve these inequalities, but you may also have to match a situation with the inequality. Here we have words that are very used often when using these inequalities. So you want to reference this chart as much as possible in order to find the situation that matches the inequality. Which situation is best modeled by the inequality A is greater than equal to 16? Here we go. You must be at least 16 years old to get a driver's license. So If I look at greater than equal to, I see minimum, at least, and no less than. So this is saying that I can be 16 years old, but I could also be 17, 18, 19, 20. I can be any older than 16, but I can at least be 16. So this one could work. I definitely think this one could work. So we'll put a check by that one. But let's look at the next one. You must get a driver's license before you turn 16. Well, this one says at least, so that means you can't be 15, you can't be 14, you can't be 13 to get a driver's license. So this one doesn't work. You must be older than 16 to get a driver's license. Well, it says I can be at least 16, so I can be only 16. I don't have to wait till I'm 17 to get a driver's license. So this one doesn't work. And you must get a driver's license on your 16th birthday. Well, wait a minute. What if I don't know how to drive by the time I'm 16? I can't get one when I turn 17 or 18. Plenty of people get driver's license after 16. So this one does not work either. So the correct answer was the first one. It's super important that you read your chart to understand how to figure out which situation matches the inequality. All right, and so I want to go over how to solve and graph an inequality. And I want to look at one that looked a little different than some of the equations we've done. This inequality says 12 is less than a divided by 4. The first thing I like to do with inequality is I kind of like to rewrite it. You don't have to do this. So you would either rewrite it before or after, because sometimes it's kind of difficult to understand. So if 12 is less than a over 4, then that means a over 4 must be greater than 12. So I kind of like to rewrite it where my variable is on the left side, just because sometimes it's easier for me to read, because we're going to have to graph the inequalities. So with that being said, they're not gonna switch it to the end, but I just wanted you to see that. So here we go. 12 is less than a over 4. A over 4 means a number divided by 4. So in order to isolate the variable, we're going to do the opposite, which is multiply. So we're going to multiply each side by 4. You always want to isolate the variable by doing the opposite with the coefficient. So the coefficient was 4, so we want to do the opposite. So we know that this would actually become 4 over 1. And if we did cross cancellation, guess what? This will cancel out. So all we're left with is A. And then over here, 12 times 4 is 48. So 48 is less than A, but again, we want to write it where the variable's on the left side, so A is greater than 48. When you plot the points, remember, as it said before, you're going to have an open circle, because an open circle means that the answer does not include 48, but it includes anything that is greater than 48. And so you will shade all the way to the right to represent greater than 48. All right, and that is it for our examples for inequalities and equations. I hope this helps. Go ahead and reference this video as you are completing your lessons. Have a great day.